Hi, lovelies. Welcome back to Esther's Song. So, today I have a love letter for you guys about competency, right? So, to be competent is to master and completely understand your subject matter, right? And I want to tell you guys a story before I get into the love letter. But I was taking out my trash and I slipped on the ice and I fell. And it was crazy, right? Because earlier I put down, the icer, and the trash really wasn't that heavy, but it just made me think about how many times we do things and they become so, repetitive that I just assumed that, I had mastered taking out the trash, walking down the steps, and then boom, all of a sudden, you can see or not even see, sometimes we have black ice and you slip and you fall, right? So I know it's something small, but it spoke to me because it reminded me not to get complacent and not to get too comfortable just with every aspect of my life, right? At a certain point, I think sometimes we feel like we've done something so many times, and I can definitely speak for myself, that you're like, oh, okay, I got this, or, you know, I've done it a million times before. I used to take out the trash when I was a kid, um, and that's just an analogy. The trash. I'm not gonna spend the whole video talking about trash, right? It's just an analogy. But what's most important is the core competency, right? Really getting to the heart of what we know and executing that and mastering that. So whatever your craft is, whatever your talent is, um, just continuously to, of course, put the work in, put the repetitions in. That's whether you're training your body, you're training your mind, you're mastering your craft, whether you're an artist or a business person, whatever it is, right? You want to definitely put that time in and that work in, the research in, to be the best you can, to do the best that you can. But me slipping on that ice today, it reminded me that you always want to continue to learn and grow, and there's always room for improvement. And it humbled me definitely a little bit, but in the Bible it says, before honor is humility, right? Humility comes before honor. Because what we don't want to do, and what I definitely don't want to do, is become so confident in something that I become prideful, right? So, because then pride comes before the fall. And that's happened many times in my life. I'm definitely not above, falling or choking on my pride, even in my heart. I remember there was an instance where um, I was with a group of, friends and colleagues, and I didn't even say anything out loud, but I just like felt it, and in my heart, I said to myself, like, oh, I can do that better than, this person. And what was funny was I was actually invited to replace this person. They were getting ready to leave. I had no idea, in my mind, thinking like, oh, I can do that or whatever. So then I was called to be that person's replacement. And I was not as good as that person. I was competent. I will say that. I was competent. I showed up. I did what I needed to do. But it was just the Lord speaking to me and saying, yes, it's important to be confident and to master that craft, but don't be prideful, right? Because looking back on it, that person definitely did a better job than I could do. So what do we do? What do we have to do to be confident, right? So we need to train, right? So we need to focus, and it doesn't matter what subject it is. Discipline is key to being confident, to competency, right? Discipline, discipline, discipline. Oh my gosh, I can't stress it enough. Self-discipline and having that, that comes from feelings of intrinsic worth and value. And let me just go ahead and remind you guys out there, wherever you are in the interwaves over the internet, you are so valuable and cherished and loved, not just by me and your family and friends, but by God first. And discipline is one of those things that, I struggle with myself. I definitely, especially after, COVID, being in the house pretty much, the past couple years, it's easy to, kind of get into a routine of not working out as hard as I used to, and I need to get back with that. I definitely want to, focus on my craft, which is writing. So I definitely want to, master that, become more confident in that area. And the only way that I'll get there is through discipline, self-discipline, right? So practicing every single day, mastering that craft every single day, applying my competency and executing it every single day is key. And well, maybe not every single day, maybe like 6 days a week, because, I definitely want to, follow in the Lord's footsteps that he laid for us to avoid burnout, right? So taking 1 day a week out to rest and honoring the Sabbath, and not legalism, not being so caught up in like what day it is and what time and all those things. No, we are supposed to keep the Sabbath holy, but at the same time, we have freedom in Christ. So we're not under the laws of the Old Testament. We're in the New Testament under Christ. So definitely, legalism is so binding, and I definitely don't want that for any listeners out there. But what I will say is, going back to the love letter of competency, it's so fulfilling, right? So even me slipping on the ice and being able to get up to do the work, having that mindset shift of going from, I have to do this work, like I have to write every day, or I have to work on my body and make it to what, I want to be and exercise and eat right. No, ladies and gentlemen, it's a gift. It's a blessing. Like, oh my goodness. When I slipped on that ice, I'm grateful that I had the ability, the muscular strength to pick myself up, that I didn't like break a bone, or, that I had even the mindset to be able to get up. You know what I mean? Our minds and our brains are so precious, and we take them for granted. I know I do. That my brain was like, okay, get up off the ground. I had the respiratory strength to do so, my nervous system, all these things. I mean, it's amazing how our body works. And it's just a miracle from God, seriously. And so when I think about, like I said, having that mindset shift from, being forced to, or having to, be confident in this area, or I have to do this thing, or I have to be disciplined. No, it's such a blessing, and it's so fulfilling. And if you commit yourself to self-discipline, you commit yourself to being confident and, mastering whichever gift that the Lord has given you, because we all have different gifts and abilities and talents. If you put that time and that work in, oh my goodness, like you will reap such a blessing, and you will be so fulfilled. It's so satisfying, sitting around all day and not being confident and not growing and not continuously learning and mastering the talent that the Lord gave you. It's like you feel like, you squandered this amazing opportunity. And it's not worth it. You know what I mean? So loving yourself is loving your gift and your talent enough to nurture it, right? Think of yourself as a beautiful flower, and you're blooming, and you just need to put in the water and the time, and, plant that seed, ladies and gentlemen, water it, and watch yourself bloom, watch your talent bloom, watch your gift grow and bloom. So amazing. Competency is one of those things where you'll move from being confident to being an expert. And once you have that expertise, oh my goodness, you can write your own ticket. Like, you could be such a blessing to others. And so that was what I wanted to share with you guys today. Even me slipping on the ice, it just really spoke to me. And I know it's something so small and so, minimal, but looking back on it, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for every experience that I've had, whether it's physically slipping on the ice or looking back over my life, the humbling experiences, the valley times, the hardships. They've made me stronger. They've made me better. They've made me more confident. And it's a loving gesture that I'm able to look at those mistakes and glean the lessons from them, take those things so I can know not to make the same mistake twice, right? Or I can look at other people's mistakes and say, you know what? I don't want to make that same mistake and learn from them as well. So wisdom is definitely an aspect of competency. And I just am so grateful for, just like I said, the little things in life, the righteous man falls down 7 times but gets up 8. And every single winter I fall at least once. I was waiting because it's in the middle of February, and I've done good this whole winter. I haven't fallen one time. And so I was kind of waiting. But yeah, every single winter, ever since I was a kid, um, I've slipped and fell at least once per winter. So that was my one time. But luckily, I'm not hurt. I got up. And like I said, I just wanted to share that with you guys. A love letter of competency. It's so important. It is so important, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters out there, playing the chess pieces, being strategic every day, learning, growing, training, whether it's swimming, whether it's running, whether it's artistry, being an entrepreneur, all those things. Put the time in, put the work in, do the education. You got this. You guys are great. I love you. Never give up on your dreams. Continue to pray, seek the Lord, and tune in next time. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk with you soon. I love you. Take care. Goodbye.